but the time has now come to suspend my campaign. I said I wanted Americans to have their voices heard. I have done that. I have no regrets. And although I will no longer be a candidate, I will not stop using my voice for the things I believe in. Our national debt will eventually crush our economy. A smaller federal government is not only necessary for our freedom, it is necessary for our survival. The road to socialism is the road to ruin for America. Our Congress is dysfunctional and only getting worse. It is filled with followers, not leaders. Term limits for Washington politicians are needed now more than ever. Our world is on fire because of America's retreat. Standing by our allies in Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan is a moral imperative. But it's also more than
Okay, welcome back to Mornings in Meridian, or welcome to Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're out there. Of course, Roger B., along with Rob Atkinson. Rob.
Shy! I watched it once. I didn't want to have to hear it again.
I know it. We just thought we'd come in there with a little
Lord,
bit of
man.
there it was.
Bye, Nikki.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
That's where we sing na 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 na.
Oh, well.
Let's see. She took a big sweep at the whole Congress there, the whole thing. It's like, okay. Well, yeah, good to see you this morning. Of course, it's a great day. Sorry about the less than tomorrow we'll get to start out with the State of the Union clips. That kind of thing. Well, that's how we'll start the show tomorrow. How's that?
Anyway, it's supposed to be a fun Friday tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't say that's so much fun.
Well, it is. Yeah. Well, actually, tomorrow we're going to do a little music. Because we're going to have Trey Shull come on the show.
And we're going to have Colonel Burton on the show as well. Of course, he's running for...
it'll really be fun Friday. We'll be talking about Senate candidate Mr. Burton.
Yep.
Colonel.
Talked to him on the phone yesterday when I was at the junior college. We talked for a few minutes, and he's going to be on the show via phone tomorrow at 7:30, or a little past 7:30. That'll break right in there. So,
and just so you know, folks, even though he's been to Meridian several times... it was one of our listeners who's supporting him that got in touch with him, that got us in touch with him, so that he could finally say, "Yeah, I want to come on your show."
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I told him, I was like, "Hey, we sent you." He's like, "Oh, okay." I was like,
"Oh, yeah, that's who that's from." I don't get any other. Of course, I'll say this in all fairness: emails. Look, folks, you want to get in touch with me, you got to either call the office, call my phone. I get so inundated. I got to go right now and probably go to 3 different email accounts and just clean them out.
Well, and in my experience working with these politicians on this particular show, I just like to have that paper trail. So if folks say, well, you didn't get in touch. Yeah, I just want to be sure we're covered on that end.
I think that's a very good thing to do.
I try to think 2 steps ahead.
We're fair and imbalanced. That's what we are here at Mornings in Meridian. Anyway, was glad to help out one of our listeners. He said, hey, he was walking at Bonita, still wanted to listen to Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. And I said, well, I'll tell you what you do. You just download that app. And he downloaded it right then and was able to walk Bonita while he listened to the show.
There you go.
So glad to help out one of our listeners.
Just don't listen to the State of the Union and walk at the same time. That might be dangerous.
You might fall. Trip and fall.
Walk like a Joe Biden.
Walk like. Oh, that was funny. I saw that clip from you and Toby. I tell you what, I'm always jealous, because I'm out of town, but you get to work with Toby Bates,
and by the way,
Paul Tarver, either one. It's that's always fun.
I know you're going to be gone a little bit next week.
Oh, a lot of bit next week.
I did get in touch with both those gentlemen, and they will both be filling in next week.
Okay, good deal.
Paul Tarver will be here a few days next week, and Toby will swing by for a day next week. Of course, Charles will be gone next week, a spring break trip with the family.
Yeah,
and so we'll have Paul and Toby jumping in to fill in next week.
Yeah, gotta go make a couple big checks next week.
Woohoo!
And that's all right, but I appreciate you understanding that, sir. And hopefully the boss, the big boss, thinks that way too. We're glad you're out there, folks. We want you to be part of the show. We give you our number. It's 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. That puts you right here with us. We'd love to hear from you, but I tell you who would love to hear from you also, and that's the good folks up there at Doc's Toyota.
It's like a bright, shiny thing. It's just beautiful up there on the hill on Highway 16 West.
It's beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. It's just
Beautiful.
But, of course, Doc's Toyota there on Highway 16 West in Philadelphia, and they've got all the 24s in stock right now, Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, and Tundras, and even that good pre-owned selection as well. You know, graduation's going to be here before you know it, and if you're thinking about sending your son or daughter or whoever it might be off to college next year with maybe a pre-owned vehicle, that'd be a nice little graduation gift for them this year. So go check out those top and luxury vehicles as well, beginner cars. They've got them all there at Doc's Toyota, and even got a great service department as well that will open up their doors later on this morning at 7:30. And of course, if you can't swing by there Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, Saturdays 8 until noon. And of course, you can always shop the inventory, new and used, online, docstoyota.com. Once again, that's docstoyota.com, or give them a shout at 601-600-3786. That's 601-600-3786. And you know where we're going next, folks, because there's no deal
like a Doc's deal.
Yes, sir.
All right. We talked about what's coming up tomorrow and next week, but we didn't talk about what's coming up this morning.
Yeah.
And we are expecting a visit from Mr. Tom Williams, who is the director of the Meridian Airport Authority. And so we're looking forward to him being here to bring us update. We're going to talk a little bit about the $7 million that's supposedly going to be coming in and helping build a new terminal at Meridian Key Field.
Absolutely.
So we'll have some questions about that and just talk about the overall health and success or whatever about the Meridian Airport. So looking forward to that visit.
I love Thomas Howard at the Meridian Star. I got a bromance with him because he does a great job of keeping the local paper moving down there at the Meridian Star. And he went into more in-depth detail about the city council meeting back on Tuesday. Of course, we talked about the year-long contract that was proposed for Wagner Engineering to help staff the city's freshwater and wastewater facilities. The council, this is the way the vote broke down on whether or not to, I guess, go ahead with this. But what the council did vote back on Tuesday was to table that proposal. And, Roger, the vote went 3-2 to basically table that issue until a later date. And the way the vote...
It was guys versus girls, wasn't it?
Basically, it was Mr. Norwood, Mr. Thomas, and Mr. Davis that voted in favor of tabling the contract, while Walker and Tybell Lindsay voted against the motion. So, and of course, this all basically goes down to the fact David Hodge, we had on the program not too terribly long ago. Great visit with David, by the way.
I knew you'd have one.
David told the city council that current employees did not have the training and expertise needed to keep the city's 2 freshwater treatment plants operating smoothly. The council in January authorized Wagner to conduct a 30-day evaluation of the city's staffing, resources, and needs with the intention of bringing the engineering firm in for a longer period to help fill staffing gaps and train city workers. Now, Meridian, along with other municipalities, has struggled to attract and keep employees with the needed skills and certifications to operate the city's water plants. Hodge has previously explained the city isn't able to compete with private industry, which offers significantly higher pay. And, of course, he talked about that his visit here on the program as well, Roger. You know, that private sector, of course, you know, when you're a municipality like Meridian, you're competing in that avenue to get good folks to work in here. And they had the contract on the table, and the council said, hey, we want to look at some more details on this. So they tabled it with that 3-2 vote. But that's how the vote broke down, in case folks were curious about how that went down. So it went down 3-2 to table that to a later date. And, of course, the mayor was not too happy about not getting the 4 votes needed to, or the 3 votes rather, to you know, to get that to go through there. So that's kind of the way that vote went down, in case you were curious.
All right. Curiosity satisfied right there.
There you go.
And thanks to the folks down there at the Star for that.
Yeah, I like the detailed article instead of just the big headline with just 2 details. So it's kind of fun.
Mississippi passed some legislation changing about the way they will fund public schools. I guess you heard a little bit about that.
A little bit, yes,
According to Mississippi Today, for the first time since 1953, Rob.
Wow.
It's the first time since 1953 Mississippi would not rely on the objective funding formula The House voted 95-13 to go with the Inspire Act. That's the investigating in the needs of students to prioritize, impact, and reform education. Oh, we came up with a good acronym.
That sounds like a good one to me.
Inspire. It's a group of 8 local superintendents and employees of the State Department of Education would make a recommendation to the legislature every 4 years on how much state money would go to local school districts. Probably be an election year, wouldn't it?
You said it.
Every 4 years, Rob? I'm just kind of thinking, would that fall on the election year?
Well, let me think.
I'm just saying.
Not quite, but close.
I think it probably, you know,
If you're keeping score at home.
or the year before the election year, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Like that garbage fee that passed in Lauderdale County after the. Oh, sorry.
Well, of course, now keep it.
Sorry.
Rob, you keep picking scabs.
Sorry.
I'm bleeding over here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Let's see. The Inspire Act, if agreed by the Senate, it has to go by the Senate, by the way.
Okay.
So it's not not there yet. Would replace the Mississippi Adequate Education Program, the MAEP, which passed in '97, to replace the Minimum Education Program that was passed early in the '50s. So they're just revamping that. So that's on the works. If you have any concern or care about that, you can contact your Mississippi Congress, your delegation over there, your legislature, and your Senate. Okay. Actually, since this is going to the Senate, that's going to be the next stop for it. So you can ask. We can ask Billy Adam about that.
Need to get Billy Adam back on the program.
Let's get Billy Adam.
Billy Adam.
Where's Billy Adam?
Send up the Billy Adam signal.
Billy Adam signal. That's right. We're glad you're out there. We're going to send out your signal. You call us at 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. Put you right here on the show with us. And I have a warning today.
Okay.
I have a warning, Rob.
Yeah?
I saw him on my way to work.
Who?
The pine pollen spores are just about ready to pop. Get ready for yellow spring here in Mississippi.
As the car washes go.
The car washes. Just want to send a message out to the missus. Let's keep the garage door shut for the next 3 weeks.
For folks that are not watching on Facebook, I was doing rub my hands together like, hey, here we go.
Car wash time. Come get your car wash.
That's right.
But no, it's kind of like overnight. You just wake up and it's like, ooh, things are green. Oh, you look on the trees, the pollen pockets. I call them pollen pockets. They're getting ready to burst there. So it's like, okay, get ready. It's going to happen here anytime. So pollen warning.
Spring is here. You got the pollen, and then of course time change this weekend.
Spring forward.
Yep, lose an hour.
I was enjoying this daylight coming to work this morning, but I would rather have the daylight at the other end of the workday. So I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with the spring. In fact, I was talking with a buddy of mine, Troy, this week, and we both agreed we would like for them to leave it on the daylight saving time that's about to change.
That'd be good.
Just forward it, spring forward, leave it the rest of our lives.
They'd had some kind of a Sunshine Act or whatever it was called that was supposed to go through Congress, but it stalled a couple of times to try to do away with this whole let's change the time twice a year, but we're still going with it.
Well, and the reason, and it's funny because we have kind of moved it closer together. You know, it's now at the 1st of November and the 1st of March, where it used to be almost a whole other month before they had the change.
Arizona don't change the clocks.
Arizona doesn't. What's the county up there in South Bend, Indiana? They don't change it. They leave it. So we could do that. I just don't think it.
Whatever.
I don't know. It's I guess we could vote for Trump. He could pass an executive order that a Democrat could undo later down the road or something like that. I don't know. Speaking of the immigration. The wife and I were talking this morning, and we really came up with what's happening here in America. This shows you how stupid we are in America, and not all of us.
Oh, alert!
Just those
dumb.
Just those who are supporting the current administration.
Okay.
Did I just call all the people that are supporting Biden stupid?
Basically.
Well, you study history. Remember the story about the Trojan horse?
Yep.
You remember the story? You remember studying that in history?
Yep.
You know, it was that curiosity thing that was rolled up by the gates of the city, and finally, they couldn't stand it. They just brought the horse in, and boom, okay, out came the enemy, right? We have a glass Trojan horse.
Oh.
In other words, here's what we're doing with our massive Chinese immigration, all these other folks coming across the border. We have a Trojan horse, except we can see it. We can see who's in it.
Yep.
And we're still letting them in.
You know what's so fitting about the State of the Union address tonight? I don't know if you saw this story earlier this morning, but Laken Riley's parents, of course, the young nursing student in Georgia that was gunned down, or not gunned down, but murdered brutally by the illegal immigrant. They were invited, the parents were invited by the Biden administration to the State of the Union tonight. They declined. They're and good on them for doing that. But here's one more thing about that. They declined the invitation, but I believe it's a representative from Georgia that is going to leave her seat empty tonight in honor of Laken Riley. So I was like, I wonder if that will be shown on camera tonight at all.
On the Sun Networks, it will.
On some networks, it will. So she's going to leave her seat open as a reminder. This is for Laken Riley. So I was like, wow. So the invitation was extended, but they said no.
That says a lot about the
I think
current
that speaks volumes right there about that tonight.
But
so.
are we not? Does that not show stupidity?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that show stupid? I mean, I'm not using words that aren't.
It's words we all use.
My apologies to those kids that are coming to school. And Silas, if you're out there, I'm not trying to be really ugly here. It's just there is a problem here. And,
defend yourself. It's okay.
And I like it. You know, we need to tell third graders, fourth graders, and college students that we are. We're imploding in America by letting this all happen.
Well, and of course,
there'll be an uprising one of these days.
Well, and you saw the connection with the guy that murdered Laken, the brother, tied to a gang from Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. You're sitting there, and you might be in China somewhere. You might be somewhere in the Middle East, and you're thinking, if we can just really dilute America with a lot of our misfits, get them across this border, it's wide open. Cartels make money doing this. They're trafficking people up here, getting it done. It's like it's a great little operation for folks. But what they're doing is they're filling America with people that's just going to continue to occupy our resources and drain us, weaken us. And then, what happens whenever there's a large uprising against America?
You know what I'm interested in? I know we got a caller on the line here, but real quick, Georgia will go to their primary polls on Tuesday of next week, like we do here in Mississippi.
Y'all get out and vote next week.
The one thing I'm going to be interested in, of course, the Republican side that's over with, but still people will get out and vote nonetheless.
Sure.
I'm wondering in Georgia, will they have the same thing on their ballot that other states have on the Democratic side of non-committed vote? After what has happened in Georgia with the murder of Laken Riley, how many folks are going to say non-committed vote in the Democratic side this time around? And what will Trump's numbers look like? Even though if Nikki Haley would have stayed in, it made no sense for her to stay in, but what would the numbers have looked like on Tuesday of next week, considering just that one issue alone? So,
and the big question is now for Trump's running mate, should he get elected, who is the running mate that can win in 2028? That's the focus of what needs to be the party right now.
Yeah.
Morning's in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Roger's back. How about that?
Well, don't get used to it. I mean, boy.
Are you getting to be where you a visitor, or are you just permanent fixture?
I'm the visiting regular. Whatever.
He's a guest host now.
Guest host.
He's a guest
That's
host.
it.
I'm a guest host of my own show.
Rob is so nice to allow me to come back and fly the plane, drive the ship, whatever you want to call it, drive the bus, when I'm in town.
But the main reason I'm calling, I want to urge everybody to get out and vote in this primary.
Mm-hmm.
Primary is very, very important. I think Trump's pretty much got it cinched, but the Senate is the one that's so important in the state of Mississippi.
As I recall, you're not a big Roger Wicker fan, are you?
You can say that, but definitely, absolutely. No, I'm not. I've seen that man do everything he can, look like, to destroy the country, and now he's saying he wants a fence when he voted against the fence when Donald Trump trying to finance it. I never know when to believe anything that comes out of his mouth. In my opinion, he's a traitor to the voters and citizens of Mississippi. We want somebody to represent us, not somebody representing himself and the good old boy as usual. But anyway, we got to a couple of opponents running that I don't know which one's the best. I'll let everybody decide that for themselves. I have my opinion, but
well, we have one of those gentlemen on the program tomorrow at 7:30. Colonel Burton is going to be with us on the show tomorrow. One of those two gentlemen. We had Mr. Eubanks on this past week. So we will have Mr. Burton on tomorrow. So
great, that's good.
And we have sent out emails to the Wicker campaign.
Yeah, I've sent exhaustive ones to the Wicker folks. And
exhaustive.
I mean, just at least one or two and nothing. Absolute crickets. So
I think either one of those would be better than what we got. I don't see how it could get any worse. In other words.
Well, I think what's going to happen is probably the two opponents are going to dilute the vote, the anti-Wicker vote. So that might be the recipe for and I'm not saying good, bad, or whatever. I'm just saying that's dynamically that's how that should probably work out.
Yeah,
dilute the vote so see Wicker go back in there for another 4. Is it 4 years he serves or 6?
Yeah, it could be a runoff. It could lead to a runoff like
maybe
like you had before with the congressional race.
Yeah, with Guest and Cassidy.
Yeah. So you never know. So it depends on how. It's just that's kind of the way it appears to me at this point.
Voter turnout during spring break too. Remember that.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I know Charles, who's going to be away from spring break, he said he voted absentee, so he did his civic duty.
Yep.
There you go. Well, I tell you what there, Mr. Brother, Mr. Mayor of Sucalina, I was glad to hear from you. I want to know any other news from your town, your side of the fence.
Well, everything's cool, calm, and collective out here. We haven't had any shootings or uprising or anything, so we in good, peaceful.
What are you doing out there in Sucalina to take care of the influx of illegals? Are you having a problem with that?
Well, we got the border sealed around here in Sucalina.
You now have to have papers to go through Sucalina.
Yes,
you got to stop at the gate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that was a good one, Benny. That was a good one.
Thank you. I hope everyone has a great day.
Yes.
All right. Well,
the fence around Sucalina, razor wire and all.
They got the border secured.
You darn right.
Where do you want to live in the United States? Sucalina, Mississippi.
Yeah.
We are secure. Don't have to have the National Guard out there,
Heck
do we?
no.
Mornings in Meridian, we got to let Tom Williams in the door. He's out front, and we're going to try to let him in, and we'll be back with more after this break. Stay with us. Yeah. That's the first Taylor.
The first Taylor.
That's the Taylor we all loved back in the 80s.
He's talking about his girlfriend,
Or
Taylor
90s,
Swift,
when there
so,
was.
yeah.
Taylor Dane, 62 years old today. Happy birthday. Of course, it's probably better she chose the name Taylor. Her given name is Leslie Wonderman. So, Taylor Dane.
Now taking you to the stage is Leslie Wonderman.
Wonderman,
That doesn't fit.
No, let's see. Other birthdays. Actor Bryan Cranston is 68 years old today.
Breaking Bad.
Yes. Saving Private Ryan. I think he was in that one, too. Giselle Eisenberg. Is that how you say her name?
Ooh.
Giselle Eisenberg, 17, little youngster.
Okay.
Jenna Fisher, 50 years old. Rachel Wise, 54.
Yeah, she's been in some movies.
She has, all those folks. So, happy birthday. If this, the 7th day of March, is your birthday, hope it's a good one for you.
There you go.
We want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, people like
Martin Roofing.
Doug
and Doug.
and Doug
And
Stacy.
Stacy, the real brains behind the operation.
Oh, smack. Wait, let's not lose the count. Don't make Doug mad.
I'm just telling you, Doug's probably going, yep. Exactly.
That's right.
But Martin Roofing, roofing done right for 30-plus years. They're locally owned and operated right here in our area, licensed in the state, members of the Better Business Bureau. They do all the roofing applications, shingles, metal, rubber, commercial roofing. And, you know, the thing about it is they make things so easy for you from start all the way through cleanup. And I know a lot of folks worry when someone comes in and does a roofing project, they're going to worry about all those materials up on the lawn, and they're going to leave nails and stuff like this. But with Martin Roofing, they take pride all the way through that cleanup process, and got a great crew that puts those roofs on a lot of homes here in Lauderdale County. So Martin Roofing will give you a free estimate and inspect for some damage. Yeah, Doug Jr. will get up on that roof and inspect things, and if you do need a new roof, he'll call the numbers down to Stacy, and they'll get you an estimate, and you're on your way. 601-485-5920. That's 601-485-5920. They'll be glad to help you with all your roofing needs. That is Martin Roofing.
All right. Well, if you've traveled up and down I-2059, you know that you've passed right by in the Meridian Key Field. We do have an airport.
Pass it every day.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I pass it every morning and every afternoon.
And the operation has to be managed by somebody, so it might as well be Tom Williams. So,
What an intro!
Best they could find to spur of the moment. Yeah.
we want to welcome Tom Williams, Executive Director or President. I always get that term all mixed up.
Close. You're doing good.
What would your business card say if I read it right?
I think it says president.
President. All
Yeah.
right. Now I got that right then. President of Meridian Airport Authority, of course, you know, a lot of operation there at Keyfield. So we would like to talk about that, especially in lieu of the fact that you have just received a grant from the, I guess that's from the FAA, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the Federal Aviation Administration Airport Improvement Program.
And this is a time when, of course, you know, this time flies for me. I don't know about your listeners, but when we talk about airports and flying and all the rest of the time flies, because I enjoy that conversation. But this is important because it involves you, too. If you leave on a jet plane out of Meridian, you're going to go through the terminal at Meridian Airport, so at Key Field. So let's talk a little bit about that. It doesn't seem like terribly long ago. Well, before we get into that, let's just kind of let new listeners learn more about you. You've been president of the Airport Authority for how many years now?
Oh, gee. Well, I started running the airport in December 1986, so I can't do the math that fast anymore.
For those of you that weren't born yet, that's who was.
Yeah, which is probably a lot of audience. It's kind of spooky.
No, that's 1986. Very good.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they hired me spur of the moment, and I hadn't been able to find another job, so I'm still there. But yeah, so I've been there for a while, and we've been able to do a few things while I've been there.
Oh, I say.
But
I know.
it's kind of funny, you know. I've been there more than half the life of that terminal building.
Wow.
And it was built in '59, and so it's reaching 65 years old this year.
Okay, the terminal building that we're currently using, but it was remodeled not. Well, it seems like a long time ago.
It's been remodeled and modified 6 times in its history.
Oh,
Believe it or
okay.
not, the last one was 15 years ago in 2009.
Okay.
Which is
That's when
hard
you
to
got the
believe.
nice glass front where you can sit there and watch
Exactly.
everybody depart and
so
see the airplane come in.
The sides, you know, the front on the highway and the front on the airport are outstanding. It's everything in between that's mush.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's everything in between that's circa 1959.
And that's where your office is, in the old part like that.
Yeah. We're actually in the good part of the building.
The good part.
Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, well.
Well, now, so, okay, so the question is, we've recently had a remodel. I say recently, 15 years.
Yeah.
But now there's plans for a whole new terminal.
Yeah, and the cost of construction and the disruption of trying to modify what we've got now is just crazy. So we would have to gut the central part of the building. In other words, all the bathrooms. So what are we going to do for bathrooms in the meantime? And how are you going to live through that? What are you going to do for airline space? You've got to temporarily relocate everything there. Part of the problem is this 1959 building has 8-foot ceilings throughout. In fact, there's spaces where I can easily stand up and touch the ceilings, 7'9" in a lot of areas. So with the low ceiling is all based on the steel structure. The steel structure is on about, don't go out with a tape measure, but it's 25 foot centers. So about every 25 feet throughout that building, you got a column. Now, TSA has a column right in the middle of where they do their passenger screening. The piece of equipment they need cannot be installed. The new piece of equipment's a little larger than the one we have now. Can't be installed because of the column. It won't fit. So if we were to, so the TSA screening area alone, just to take that one example, is between 1/3 and 1/2 of the size it's supposed to be. And the belt, you know, when you go to another airport and you get on the airplane and you've got a 20-foot conveyor to pull your belt and your shoes, unless you have TSA pre-check, which is coming in about 3 weeks to Meridian, where you can.
Oh, good.
Hey, that's big.
Again.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We have 5 feet of conveyor belt.
Wow.
And the rest of it is a table that's on the outside of the door. And it's a congested, confused experience. It's bad enough when it's laid out right.
And then this adds to it, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, and having recently myself and my wife as well, even more recently, flown out of Meridian, we get it. We see that every time. But, boy, we still just love the convenience of being able to just drive just minutes to the airport and not really have to arrive. And I may be just kind of cutting what you need people to know. I may be cutting through that inappropriately, but you don't have to arrive like you do at the big airports so far in advance.
So far ahead of time, yeah.
You know, the big airports, they're telling you 2 hours ahead of your flight. And in Meridian, if you're an hour ahead, you're in great shape.
There you go.
You're
See,
in
and
great
that's
shape.
the point I'm making, and you're right here. So we're enjoying that. So then a terminal, and I guess I'm a little bit surprised that you talk in terms of a new terminal.
I know.
And it only being $7 million. So is there more money involved than what the grant will cover?
This particular grant, $7.5 million. We've got another type of grant funding that's $4.5 million. And by the time we're all done, we're probably looking at $16 million on the building.
Okay.
Parts of it the FAA pays for, parts of it they want. I mean, I spent 2 hours on the phone with an architect yesterday detailing the spaces and the square footages to go make an argument to FAA about what percentages they'll pay for.
So we're not remodeling the old. We're going ground up with a new facility.
Ground up with a new. You know, it would literally be replacing the old one if we did a replacement. You know, you might keep those 2 faces on each end, but you'd literally strip everything in between and reconstruct it. And frankly, the cost of that would be more than building a brand new one.
Right.
And then you build a brand new one, you've got new sewer lines, new water lines, new drainage system. You've got a floor plan that fits our operation better. In fact, you talk about our terminal. It is extremely convenient. I love our terminal building. The new one will be even better.
Oh, yeah.
There will be even a shorter path through the building to get on the airplane. It will be less confusing. You know,
Still have free slushies?
And donuts in the morning.
Okay, good.
Donuts
And
in the morning.
coffee.
So that's why you've been
Listen.
missing so much.
Well, you know,
You know this, Roger. You're there every day.
It's kind of fun to go pretend like you're flying out, you know.
A little soggy
hey,
around the
slushy machine.
midsection there, all the donuts.
We'll talk about more of the amenities later. So what would happen? What would happen with the old terminal then? Would that be a demolishing of the old terminal?
Yeah, another one of the problems we've got is how close we are to the highway. So I've got 2 rows of parking in front of the building, and then I've got 2 narrow traffic lanes in the front of the building. There's no sidewalk. And when you're unloading your bags there at the front of the building, which you get to do in Meridian and not at a lot of other airports.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And also pick up. You're just sitting there with your flashers on. You can get the baggage and get in.
Roll right on.
Right at the front door. But there's no sidewalk. So you got to walk out in the traffic to go get in the car. So moving the terminal building further away from the highway is safer for the people driving. We'll have 1 parking lane and 2 passing lanes instead of 1 of each now. Okay. We'll have a sidewalk that's about 8 feet wide, so you can actually walk down to the car without having to go out in the street. And we'll have 4 rows of parking instead of 2, so your odds of parking at the front door are much greater under the new design. So it's, and I think I cut off my headphones here.
Yeah, I think something just cut off mine too. So
all right,
no worries.
Are we still there? Check.
there we are. We're back.
Right.
All right, I just basically touched the panel there. It's like, you know, yeah. Just hands off. All right.
I think he needs to be re-certified on that. He needs to get his.
That's what we do in the airplane, you know.
Yeah.
Why did that cut off? What's right?
Recertification at the radio station.
Just tap it. Oh, okay, it's back on.
That's how we fix things around here.
Yeah, bigger hammer. So that's exciting. So what's the expected timeline for this project?
We hope in this fall we'll be under construction. The design process is well underway. We had to get the design process started to even compete for the funding. And the problem with the funding is this is the first time since 1986 there's been a program that would fund enough of a terminal building, because we've always had to do it a couple of million at a time. So this is a program that came up under the bipartisan infrastructure law to address aging terminal buildings. And when my opening line in the application was our 64-year-old terminal building, apparently because I got a call pretty quick about, okay, tell us some more. Now, it was a long time before we knew we got the grant, but tell us some more.
Bar was set right there when you said 64 years.
64-year-old.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is desperately needed. And so if we don't take advantage of this program, then it expires in 2 more years.
Oh, see.
And then we're right back where we were, and the likelihood of being able to fix a long-running problem that's getting worse goes away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tom, I'm going to set you up for this one here. Well, what about people who say, you know, I just don't know if I want my tax dollars going to this new terminal building when we got one that's sufficient enough. And what are they going to do? They're going to raise my taxes now because they're doing this?
Well, Roger.
All right, here's the setup.
I don't know. No.
I love it.
I don't know.
Well, there's 2 answers to that, and the first one is, now I don't know where bipartisan infrastructure law money came from, but most airport improvement money all comes from a tax on tickets and jet fuel and aviation gas. So if you don't fly on the airlines or in a private airplane, you aren't contributing to that fund. Bipartisan infrastructure law, I'm not sure. But here's the other piece of it. Bipartisan infrastructure law has given away $1 billion to improve terminal buildings all over the United States. We competed against 630 other airports to win this. They gave, there were $7 billion in requests. That money's going somewhere.
Yeah.
And if it ain't coming to Meridian, it's going somewhere else.
And I am a big fan of, if it's going to be spent,
Let's
get as
spend
much
it
as
here.
you can come home.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my job. My job isn't to decide politics. My job is to get as much of that money here as I can. And we got lucky. Well, we weren't lucky. We were skillful in our application process.
That might be good. Skillful and legitimate need. I mean, you're talking about
Very.
so this is exciting. So okay, so there's the terminal. So we still have you know, I know one time you were visiting with us, and there was even a question if we'd have jet service out of Meridian. but we have SkyWest, which is a good product for us. We fly to Houston, and then from there we can go just about anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So in Meridian, you get on United Airlines. You've got a United flight number, a United Airlines ticket, United frequent flyer miles. You're on United, and you can go from Meridian to anywhere in the world. Yeah, you're going to connect in Houston. If you've got medical issues or the things that you need to go to Houston for, it's simple.
Just
it's
a direct flight.
Yeah, simple, right there.
And literally an hour. What's the drive to Houston? 8 hours?
About 8 or 9 depending on how you drive.
And then,
or the Interstate 10, whether it's blocked up or not.
Oh, don't even go there. That's worse than flying out of another airport trying to make that 2 hour early timeline.
That's right. You drive a couple hours to a big city, then you got to get there 2 hours early at the big city. Yeah. And here's what people realize: if you're going to be, say, on a week's vacation, your parking bill is going to be over $100.
Easy.
Just to park your car.
Easy.
At Meridian, I think they still have the $2 a day parking.
$2.
That's
$2.
it.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
Well, there's a lot to talk about here. We're glad to have Tom Williams, president of the Meridian Airport Authority, here with us and explaining some of the things that go on. And I do like people to hear you say that, the airport is operated off of monies that are used by flyers or users of the airport rather than, your city or county taxes.
Right. Yeah. And, that's a system that was developed back in the late 20s, early 30s to improve airports for airmail service. And that's started then. In fact, there's still roots of that in the agreements we signed today, where we agree that the airport will always be used as an airport. We can't turn it into a subdivision because there's federal money involved.
Right.
And it's commitment to run it and run it properly.
All right, we've got a caller on the line. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. You have a question for Tom Williams, the airport president.
I'll just make a quick little statement real quick. My brother's first job with Tom Brown in the early 70s. He's the best job I ever had. He still brags about working at the airport. And Tom Brown, he went in the Air Force after that, but still likes that place. Yeah, I just I'm updating that place.
Hang in there.
I had to call. It should have been updated 20 or 30 years ago. And I'm all for it. Man, I'm glad he's on there talking about it. Thank you.
All right.
Good deal.
Good phone call. You got a citizen supporting you there.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you very much. And I'm coughing like you are today, trying to not do it into the microphone. But it's a special place. And I mean, I've been there that long, and Roger can vouch for it. It's just we're just very, very blessed here to have a lot of aviation interest and to have done okay with it.
Well, there's a lot more to talk about when you talk about Key Field, and we'll do that. But first, a little recommendation. If your construction crew starts building there at Key Field and they find that they don't have a particular tool that they need or some sort of piece of equipment, we recommend they just go down the street to Truckers Supply and see if they have what they need, because most likely they will.
That's right. The Car Family and Trucker Supply at 519 Highway 19 South. Of course, they're your one-stop shop for all your tools. And Milwaukee is the name. Of course, they got Knipex tools, that channel locks on steroids, as Charles Frazier likes to say.
10 times the gripping power of your other channel locks.
Absolutely. So, of course, Milwaukee and Yeti products, and they have the mugs, lids as well, of course, Streamlight flashlights. And you mentioned spring here. How about hot seat pressure washing?
Oh, don't remind me.
Debbie's going to have you out there soon. So Trucker Supply's got everything from tools all the way down to Yeti products. They're at Highway 19 South, right next door to those golden arches. You can't miss them right there. The red, white, and blue building out front says Trucker Supply, Tool Central. The Car Family will love to see you there today at Trucker Supply.
I guess in about a month I'll be pulling my Hotsy out and getting all the pollen and all washed down and all that good stuff.
Yep, you'll be busy.
Yes, I will. It's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad to have Tom Williams here from the Meridian Airport Authority, and excited about the new terminal. Again, I think hopefully showing a good sign for the future of air travel out of Meridian. I'm assuming that people like SkyWest and United Airlines, they like seeing things like this.
Yes, anything to improve the customer experience. And frankly, we've got a pretty great customer experience right now. But there'll be things in the new building that we just cannot do now. For example, you go through security in Meridian. I really shouldn't talk about negatives, should I?
Well, it's all right.
But you go through security at any other airport and you need to use the restroom. Well, there's a restroom there.
Right.
Well, we don't have one, and we can't put one in effectively.
Once you go through the TSA. So,
So you go back out and then go back through again if you need to use the restroom. So we'll fix that.
yeah.
A lot of things like that. And then today, if you travel, I had a friend a while back whose wife had some health issues and couldn't go to the restroom by herself. How do you do that if all you've got is a men's room and a women's room? You can't.
Right.
And new building will have that. We'll have family restrooms where you can assist someone else. There's a lot of things that will be better.
Those small little touches, just small things.
And yet it's a giant thing that prevented them from traveling through Meridian because of that.
Those small things turn into big things down the road.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that now.
Yeah.
I say, well, let's just, very good. Well, and we'll talk about boardings and all the rest when we're going to take a top of the hour break. If you have time to stay with us a little while. We'll take a top of the hour. We'll find out about boardings and how things are looking with our airline service. And then we'll talk about what all else is going on at the airport, because I know there's so much more out there on that real estate, and we need to talk about that. But we do need to remind people that if you have a business, it could be running an airport, or it could be just running a small one-person business. You're going to need some business machines, and we recommend you go down to Highway 39 to 4505 Highway 39 and talk to the good folks at Purvis Business Machines.
Service, not excuses, since 1979. That's their slogan, and they live by it at Purvis Business Machines. Of course, online at gopurvis.com, or as we mentioned, you can go by the beautiful showroom there at 4505 Highway 39 North. Of course, they sell, service, rent, lease, quality name brand office equipment, those copy machines, the all-in-one devices, and of course, Toshiba, CopyStar, Kia, Sarah, Hewlett, Packard, and they have all those in line down there, and you can save up to 85% on lease return color copiers. That's a heck of a savings down there with Purvis. Of course, Don Lucas will help you out as well. Go by and see him at 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian, or call him at this simple number to remember, 601-693 copy. That's 601-693 copy, with the staff at Purvis Business Machines. Once again, service, not excuses, since 1979.
All right, we'll return with our visit with Tom Williams and talking about the Meridian Airport. Key Field is what it's called, named after the Key brothers. They did something kind of special, if you don't know about that, too. All coming up next, and all questions you have for Tom Williams, this is the time you can ask him right here on the show. But we'll take a Fox News break, and I'll go down and get us some coffee. And did you bring donuts, Tom?
Oh, good Lord.
They're at the airport.
All right, we'll be back. Stay with us. I got to run all the way to the airport. right, we've just lifted off from Meridian Key Field, headed to Houston, and
Really? What time we going? Are you driving?
all right. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Roger along with Rob on this Thursday morning. Our guest, Mr. Tom Williams from the Meridian Airport Authority.
Yep, glad to be here. Another on-time departure.
Yes, another on-time departure.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk a little bit about do we need to do a we'll do this discussion, then we'll talk about one of our sponsors.
No, you're fine. We got plenty of time on
All
that.
right,
So.
good deal. As far as people scheduling to fly out of Meridian, and I know how this goes. I'm a consumer. I know how it works. You start looking at Jackson. Start looking at Birmingham. Say, oh, let's see how much it costs to fly out of Meridian. You check out Meridian. Well, it may or may not be more expensive to fly out of Meridian. But describe the logic behind flying Meridian and flying home.
Well, the first thing is when you finish your trip, you're home. You're not you're
love
not
it.
looking for your car in a parking lot.
I love that.
Especially in Birmingham. God bless you if you park up there. But once you find your car, you don't have a 2.5 hour drive ahead of you because you're tired, you've had your trip, and it's time to be home and go to bed. When you get to Meridian, you got a 15, 20-minute drive home, you're done.
I love that.
And that's number one. Your cost of parking here, $2 a day. You're able to show up an hour before your flight, sometimes less, but don't say I said that. And
I've done that.
Don't quote him on that.
yeah, and
There was a day, literally, a half hour before the flight, and it was more than ample time. But that was back in the day.
that was
Pre 01.
But and you get treated like a person here. You know, the customer service people at the big airports, you're just another number. Here, you're an important passenger. And
you get to know these people.
You
and
do.
they recognize you. Hey, Roger, where you going? You know.
And it is amazing to watch them operate because they know the regular customers, they know the people that fly, and if you have an issue with a ticket, you come out to the airport and someone will probably be able to help you with it. So customer service is better. I tell you, on airfares, man, you just don't know from day to day. And this is any airport. This is any airfare. I mean, they've got the computers involved in how prices are calculated. And, you know, if five of us search on the same city, I got an idea in an hour we search, the price will have gone up because it said, oh, a lot of people are going to wherever.
Well, and let me just give you an example of that, folks. This is not even related to airlines, but I was just, what if, we've got the big solar eclipse coming through, Texas, Arkansas, and on up to Kentucky and on up to the Northeast. So I just said, all right, one dead center spot is Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Yeah.
The Hilton Hampton Inn.
Okay.
Normally $9,500 a night.
Yeah.
For the night of?
No way.
$795.
No way.
Hampton Inn. That's right. So I'd just say that's an example of how that's an extreme example,
Right.
of supply demand kind of thing. But the airlines are doing this daily, if I'm not mistaken.
They're doing it minute by minute, is from what I can tell.
Oh wow! Okay.
Now look, I don't have any inside information on airlines price tickets. I just know, having watched it for a long time. You know, 30 years ago, you'd call the airline pricing guy and say, "Hey, we got a group going to wherever, Minneapolis. Can you put a good fare in for them?" And an hour later, there would be a fare sitting there. Today, those people don't exist, and it's all done on a computer, and it's based on traffic. So yeah, you just don't know. And what
is it still true? Book early, the early book the better, or is that even?
I wouldn't even say that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the day, it was 3-week fare, a 2-week fare, a 1 week. Not now. You just don't know, and keep checking.
On average, though, what would be our difference rate? Let's say we're going to the same destination out of the two cities, Meridian versus Jackson.
Yeah.
What would? I know you don't want to commit to that.
Well, I'm not committing. I mean, we're not priced on a differential. Used to be something called differential pricing. It'd be Jackson plus 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not even done that way anymore. It's completely based on demand, and you can, if you look at something, say, 6 months out, the price may be fairly high right now because you're testing it. You get down a month out, you get a week out, it may be less than it was 6 months ago. You just don't know. You just have to play the game and check it every day.
Well, I'll just tell you how it worked in our home over Christmas. I flew my son, his wife, and my granddaughter from the Florida Keys to Meridian for Christmas, and it was our treat. We're going to pay for it. Well, I decided to pay. I think it was a minimum at least another $500 for the whole group. It might have been even a little bit more than that, but it was worth the $500. I know this may sound crazy. No, I don't have a lot of money. I'm not a rich person, but I thought about two things: driving to pick them up, and driving them to take them back.
Yeah.
And I said, I will pay the extra money to come to Meridian, where this is going to be a cinch. Just go 15 minutes, pick them up, 15 minutes to take them back.
Yeah, and we have stories that are almost the opposite of that, in that I saved $500 using Meridian. The key messaging we've got is check pricing in Meridian. Don't just assume. Don't guess. Check pricing, even if it's a last-minute trip. Sometimes there's some really discounted fares. It's amazing.
But also be savvy and don't just look at the price tag. Check your time involved, check your travel, check your parking, check all the inconvenience. Factor all of that in to the price and see if it's really worth it to you to make that trip over there. Because we've all done it. I've flown out of Jackson. I've flown out of Birmingham. I've done all that. But I even considered, haven't done it, driving to Atlanta. But I guess people will do that.
The heck is wrong with you?
I know it. That's, I said I just thought about it. I didn't do it.
You put your life in your own hands doing that.
Oh, man, I know it. I'm glad the good Lord stopped me is what happened.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know it. Praise
Well, I'm always waiting on that truck on the interstate. That had an accident or caught on fire, and the whole interstate's closed
Shut
for 8
down.
hours.
Exactly.
And here you go.
Yeah.
You're going to miss that flight.
Yep.
So there's a lot to consider when you're thinking, and don't just you think about it's all about the dollar sign and what's behind it. No, there's a lot to factor in there.
Yeah, there is.
But bottom line, Meridian's competitive.
We absolutely are competitive, and you may be you just shop around. I mean, that's the best thing you can do is compare, but be sure you check the fare out of Meridian. That's the most important.
So with that, how are our boardings in Meridian? How many customers do we have? I mean, first of all, give us the flights. How do we schedule? What do we have coming in and out of Meridian right now? And then how are our boardings?
So buying tickets out of Meridian right now, go to United.com. United Airlines, United.com. And you can do that. It doesn't cost anything. Just do it for fun and see what the prices are wherever you want to go. But United.com will get you there. You can check schedules. At this point, we've got a departure at 9 in the morning, which means you're not up at the crack of dawn. You get to the airport at a reasonable time. You connect in Houston, which is
9 in the morning.
Pretty decent airport to connect in. And then we've got a departure at 6 in the evening. Now, that is not our ideal second departure. Ideally, it would be early afternoon, but it's where we are in the world right now with pilot shortage and air service. But that 6 p.m. departure is pretty handy. I had a meeting in Corpus Christi back in December. Sunday night, I go to the airport, get on the airplane at 6. I'm in Corpus at 9:30, go to bed, have a meeting. I'm back in Meridian the next evening. So that late, I had all day, got to go to church, got to spend time with the family, and then late afternoon, go to the airport, get on an airplane. So that 6 p.m. really works pretty well. I was on the flight on the way back with a fellow who had a meeting, just like I did, had a meeting in Houston. He said, my coworkers who flew out of another airport had to leave Sunday afternoon and weren't going to get back until Tuesday. But he left Sunday night and got back Monday night. So,
okay. Well, there you go. So, again, it does depend on your schedule and how things work. But
it does.
But in my scenario with my children coming home for Christmas, that 9 o'clock the next morning was great because, didn't have to get up super early. Because if it had been another city somewhere else, that would have been a miserable return to the airport for me. I mean, I'm not thinking it's just for them too, to get up there, get 2 hours early. We'd been up at 5 in the morning,
Easy.
So folks, when we say fly Meridian and fly home, that is more than just a tag or more than just a logo.
And Roger, really, it's also another angle to think about. Do you like the things that have changed in Meridian that have gone away, the stores that have left, the services that have left. Well, they left because they weren't used. Possibly. There are other reasons some of them have left.
Well, I mean, legitimately, they're looking at bottom lines.
So if you like having air service in your hometown,
Utilize it.
Use it or lose it.
There you go.
And that's something that it's harder and harder to keep air service these days, and that's something we need people to realize.
All right, Rob, he said something about pre-check.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, last hour, TSA pre-check is on the way, and actually this is going to be pretty soon here, is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I had to check it, look at it myself.
It's coming up pretty soon.
Thank you, March 18th to 22nd. And so TSA pre-check lets you go through security without taking off your shoes, your belt, your jacket, without unpacking your bag, and all the things that go with that. So TSA pre-check is really a security background check on you, if nothing else. Just that you're not a bad guy.
So how do I take advantage of it then?
The easiest way to get to it is to go to the meridianairport.com website.
Okay.
Meridianairport.com.
Meridianairport.com.
That's the one. And right across the top, there's a banner that says TSA pre-check, March 18 to 22, register here. And that'll take you to the TSA page. You make an appointment, you show up, you're there about 5 minutes. I think mostly to get your $78, and then in a short period of time, in a short period of time, you'll get your traveler ID number and never worry about security for 5 years.
Do we need to bring like our passport or anything like that, or what kind of documents do we need to?
That's a great question, Roger. I wish I knew.
Well, that's my job, is to ask great questions.
It is. And
Me and Rob, that's
you're
our
living
job.
up to your side of the bargain. So when you register, it'll tell you what to provide or what to bring. I think it's usually a birth certificate, but it may be a driver. Yeah, check, see what they'll tell you what to bring.
Very good. All right. So if you'd like to get the I've got to do that. So I'm going to.
Oh, you haven't done it?
I haven't done it.
Are
yet.
you serious?
I'm serious.
Well, you can come right out to the Meridian Airport, get a donut, get a slushie,
Cup
get
of
your
coffee,
pre-check.
whichever, pre-check.
You're done.
You're
done.
I'll have a reason to hang out, won't I?
Yeah.
All right. Come get my slushie,
Always
my
the
donuts.
snacks. Always the snacks.
And that's good. So here we go. That's great. Well, here's the reality of it. Since I do fly a lot privately,
Right.
I really haven't had to have that. So it's kind of, but I'm seeing where I'm going to need to have that more often.
Yeah, and too, I know a lot of pilots that work like that wind up leaving the airplane and coming back on the airlines. If the trip's a week long,
Sure,
just leave the airplane there and come back on the airlines, and so there are more and more pilots that are flying because of that as passengers.
There you go. It's Mornings in Meridian, and if you have a question for the president of the Meridian Airport Authority, Tom Williams, he may not have all the answers, as he just demonstrated, but he'll at least make something up or tell you where to go to find the answer. You can give us a call, 601-485-9191. This program is brought to you by great sponsors like
Premier Paint and Body. Danny Shelton's doing that whole retirement thing now, and Ty Booker is running the shop now, doing a great job down there at Premier.
Go Ty!
Go Ty Booker. And, of course, well over 100 years combined experience there in the shop there at Premier Paint and Body. 1210B Highway 39, next door to Johnson Dodge. Like new results, no job is too small or too large for the staff there at Premier. They do everything from auto body repair all the way to automotive glass replacement and, of course, painting. They do it all there in the shop. They'll give you a free estimate, of course. They are the bridge between you and the insurance folks as well. So great warranties on a lot of the products there that they work with, and they'll get you squared away at 1210B Highway 39 in Meridian. That is 601-482-PAINT. 601-482-7246. The shop's open until 5 today. We're next door to Johnson Dodge there on 1210B Highway 39. Go by and see them today. 601-482-PAINT.
All right, so hopefully beginning a construction on a new terminal this fall. TSA pre-check for those of you that like to leave your belt and shoes on when you go through the line and getting on board. I'd like to do that. I do not like undressing. In fact, I'll continue.
Well, no one wants to see you undressed.
I'm
either,
about to
Roger.
say,
I think that's where we're going.
There you go. See, that's just the way
Take
it
your
is.
belt off and your pants fall down. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's right. It's like, all right, come on, people. Here we go. Look, I'm safe. All right, no problems here. So, yeah, TSA pre-check. Take advantage of that. Go to the website there at meridianairport.com.
.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we got all that. And some people might say, well, we go into a lot of expense and trouble for 2 flights a day in Meridian. What is, is that all we do at Meridian Airport? And evidently, there's a whole lot more going on out there. Describe to our listeners what all functions are going on at the Meridian Key Field.
Well, just to back up a little bit, after 9/11, when air service was getting more and more, even more difficult at small airports, we realized we needed to diversify our revenue. We were spending about half of our income was airline related, and so when an airline left, it was a big hit. So we realized we've got to find other ways to pay our way in the world, because we don't take money from the city, we don't take money from the county, we don't take any money locally from, for support for operations, other than the grants we've already talked about. So first opportunity we had was to start selling aviation fuel. A fellow that had been selling fuel for a long time decided he wanted to sell out. We bought that operation and started selling fuel. And we improved the facilities dramatically.
Amen to that.
Put in a lot better operation, made sure the good service continued. And within about 3 years, we had tripled fuel sales at the airport. Excuse me. So,
and when you say fuel cells, this is for the general aviation, the corporate jets, the small single-engine airplanes, all those who need servicing at airports.
Exactly.
It's not all about the airlines.
No. And at an Atlanta or a Jackson even, I mean, the vast majority of fuel sales are all airline related. Well, we had to get away from that. We had to get into the bread and butter, and also see if we could grow our traffic. Just for that reason. I mean, you want more cars stopping at the gas station, so we need more airplanes stopping at the airport. So we were able to grow the general aviation side. It is amazing to me, particularly certain times of the year, how the flights we have that come from Central Florida or South Florida going up into the Midwest stop in Meridian to refuel. The only reason they stop is because they need fuel and they've heard about us, and they know what we do. So,
and I want the listeners to know that Tom and his staff have done an excellent job of making it attractive for people that might be flying from Nebraska to Florida or flying from Virginia to Texas. You've done a good job of making them feel welcome. First of all, just friendly service. That's one thing that's important. But not charging the enormous fees that other airports charge me and other pilots when we go land at the airports. We almost feel like, they're doing us a favor and they want us to know it. So they're charging us this fee and that fee, a landing fee, service fee, extra fees if you don't buy fuel. And in Meridian, you've eliminated those things that make us feel unwelcome.
Yeah,
and people are just feeling welcome. Hey, if it comes close, do I land in Jackson, Laurel, Hattiesburg? I'm landing in Meridian.
Yeah, and we really appreciate that those other airports do that for us.
I mean,
we want them to charge a fortune. I had a friend of mine. Flew their airplane into Jackson just to drop somebody off. Okay, this is the big Jackson Airport, private airplane. $500 just to drop somebody off. They didn't buy gas. They didn't even go in the building and use the restroom. They just opened the door, let somebody out, and close the door. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But we are glad.
And those are discretionary. I mean, it's not, the airport's not making them charge that. The federal government's not making them charge that. No. It's just a business sitting there saying, hey, we're going to charge this.
It's a private business that has the opportunity to gouge.
And so thank you for not being a gouger. And people know that. I think, in fact, just a good ad for your airport is Meridian Key Field, a big full-page ad in Flying Magazine, Key Field, big letters, no fees.
Yeah.
Boom.
Works.
Meridian Aviation, no fees. Hey, okay, there we go. And you also have a lot of amenities. I mean, you've got the ice cream machine, the popcorn machine, you got the hot dogs, they got pizzas on Friday, they've got tacos on Tuesday. It's like, hey.
It's funny how he knows the menu.
Oh, he knows the menu. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know the menu. You better
Lots
believe
of
it.
folks know the
Lots
menu.
of folks know the menu.
Saves me a lot of money on my food bill. I'll tell you that.
Sounds like it.
I had somebody criticizing us because you're giving away those chili dogs. You're giving away chili dogs. And I pointed at an airplane. I said, we just put 300 gallons of jet fuel on that airplane, which means we made about $320. And that chili dog cost 27 cents. And he stopped because of the chili dog. Do you think this is a good deal? And that guy never spoke up again.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's easy to silence it immediately.
another story. I saw a jet owner and his family get out, and I just asked them. They're taking on probably 300 or 400 gallons of fuel, and they stopped there because the kids wanted the ice cream at the ice cream machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we stopping in Meridian? Yeah, we're going to stop for fuel at Meridian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have stopped.
That's it. See that?
Okay.
Yep.
and
Not
if-
contributed to the local economy, not stayed in a hotel, not found out about Dean Aircraft that could do the repairs on their airplane.
And that's a whole other thing. We haven't gotten into that. We'll have to save
No.
that for another show. But we've got a quick question from a caller before we go. Good morning, caller. You have a question for Tom Williams?
Hey, quick comment. I just want to say, in this climate of you have individuals who are in the service business, elected officials, where they are reaching for every penny that the taxpayers have. I just want to say to Mr. Williams, thank you for being a good steward of that which you've had.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I tell you, it just listening, I almost said Tom Williams for mayor, and I just want to compliment you. Really, seriously, you've done a yeoman job, and we just appreciate all that you do there. But I do have one question, and Roger's already ran a disclaimer, said you don't know all the answers to the questions. I'm just curious if you had statistics that indicate the number of Americans that have flown, and I'll just hang up and listen because I know you guys are pressed against the bottom of the hour there.
The number of Americans that have flown overall, or just?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That have
Okay.
flown.
All
I
right.
don't know if any such statistic exists, but we'll see.
All right, good deal. All right, thanks for the call. Appreciate that. Well,
It's a good one. And there's still
I know
a
it's in
lot
the
of
millions.
people, a lot of people that have never flown. And
Yeah.
a lot of them fly a lot.
Mhm.
But it's interesting that, in this day and age, there's still a lot of people that have never been in an airplane before.
Rob, have you flown?
Yes.
I've flown, so that's 100% in this room. So,
But in this building, we're not real sure.
that's true.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be something we can research and
Yeah,
bring that back to the
absolutely.
table there. But I know that you have to get out of here, and we do want to make mention that you did. I know that Leonard Dean, a longtime resident who is a very good
Yes.
mechanic, started a small business in the corner of the hangar back in the 90s, I think, and developed what's now known around the country as Dean Aircraft Services, which is now owned by the Meridian Airport Authority.
Yep.
And tell us real briefly what that's doing for us, and then we're going to have to let you go, I know.
He started that business back in the early 80s.
Early 80s.
Grew it and did a great job, did an amazing job establishing a reputation of excellence in aircraft maintenance. We wound up buying him out in 2009. At the time, we built the biggest hangar we would ever need. We knew we'd never need anything bigger than this. Last year, we doubled it, and we're filling it up. So, I mean, it is just a going operation. And the people that are out there now, Lynn retired about a year and a half ago. Tom Meek is running that operation now, and we are growing like crazy. We're adding a couple of mechanics every 3 to 4 months, and all of it thinking we're going to get ahead and have enough mechanics so that we can, catch up on work. And customers keep coming, new customers that are coming in going, we can't get this fixed. And we've got a great bunch of experienced technicians that are able to find problems and fix them. And generally, we get a customer for life. And a lot of times when we get that customer, he brings others with him. We've got a guy that comes to Meridian, Mississippi from Montana every 2 years for an airplane inspection.
How about that?
Montana.
He
Wow.
also doesn't mind being in Mississippi. He has no reason to be here except us.
Probably would schedule that in January or February. If I were
I
in
think
Montana.
that's when it comes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, very good. Well, one more question. That, by the way, I did a survey showed in 2022 that 44% of Americans flew commercially that year, and almost 90% had taken commercial flights in their lifetime.
Wow.
That is a good, interesting
Now,
number.
I don't know.
That's 2022.
That was a survey done in 2022.
22.
but-
Okay.
Roger,
Wow.
you have the answers.
Well,
That's great.
You know, I have the Google Institute of Information.
Thanks, Alexa.
Thank you.
She's smart.
All right, one last question for Tom Williams before we let him go this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you have a question for our guest today.
I do. Tom, this is Gerald Dozer.
Hey, Gerald.
Hey, Tom.
All right, now let me ask, since it's Gerald, do you have a short question for him?
No. No.
Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. I just had to say that.
Tom's his own boss. He can leave when he wants to, eh?
No, I think all of y'all are my bosses.
I don't think his board liked hearing that. I don't know. But go
Well,
ahead.
at least he's got a board that's aviation minded, as opposed to some airports that I've been to that's got a board that don't know where the red lands and the green lands, which wing they go on.
Ooh, okay.
But anyway, Tom, the new terminal, where is it going to be located?
We're going to, the wing that I'm in, which is that north wing, we're going to tear it down and build on top of it. Right jam up to the old terminal. And when we get this one finished, we'll move into it and then tear down the old one and then rebuild all the roads and parking in front.
Okay. I didn't, if I might not have heard it when you said where it was going to be, but anyway.
Will that eliminate the building that was off to the side where I think the old weather service used to be?
I'm planning to keep it if at all possible.
Okay.
It's really good lease property if
I
possible,
see.
if we can
Okay.
use it.
In the lobby, it used to be a mini museum deal there about the Ole Miss and all. Is it still there?
Yeah, it is still there, and we hope to do a lot more with it in the new building to talk about not only the airport history, but some Meridian history as well. But we think we can do a lot more than we've done in the past.
Yeah. Well, I still got that piece of memorabilia I want to give you that was directly connected to that.
We're going to catch up one day, I promise.
But anyway, how big? You've moved in your new maintenance building down there, and they are a certified Cessna citation repair station, are they not?
Well, no, since Cessna got into business of doing their own repairs, they don't certify anybody else anymore. But that is a whole lot of what we do. And, you know, Textron bought it all. So we do a lot of Textron for Beechcraft, King Airs, and Cessna citations. But, yeah, we pretty well do all that.
Well, best I remember, my knowledge is Lynn developed a citation reputation here in Meridian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
And Gerald, we're getting into Hawkers now. We're just doing back-to-back Hawker, and I don't know what inspection it is, but it is massive. They take the tail off the airplane and X-ray.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy and expensive.
I think the word you meant to use there was profitable. It depends on which side of the airplane you're on.
That's
Yeah.
the one. I get
Yeah.
it. Well, Gerald.
I think it was left in good hands, I think, with Tom. And
Yep.
one other thing,
Yeah.
is there some way?
That's the third one other
I
thing.
talk to people all around that's been around Key Field for a long time. Could we have some kind of fly-in or something other and just a sit down with people and talk about old times and history?
I think we better hurry up because there's not so many of us that remember anymore.
Oh,
And,
good boy.
That's the reason I'm calling. I got a birthday this month, and I'm getting on up there.
well,
Hey, there you
I'm
go.
ready. I think it'd be great. It'd be absolutely great to do that.
Well, happy birthday, Gerald. We got to let our guest go. He's got an appointment he's got to get to. But thank you for letting us hear from you.
All right, Tom, I'll check in with you about that piece of equipment I got.
Thank you, Gerald. Take care. Good talking with you.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care. Bye.
All right. That's well, sir. Thank you for taking
Yeah,
time
absolutely.
to be here.
Huge fun.
Very
Thank y'all for making it so
informative,
quick.
and We will we'll schedule another time down the road. That's maybe
Absolutely.
after construction starts or
Yeah.
something like
Can't
that.
wait.
All
Can't
right.
wait. Y'all
Very
take
good.
care.
All right.
See ya.
Tom Williams, president of the Meridian Airport Authority. Good information. We got to take a break. Rob and I aren't going anywhere. We've got to finish up this show. Oh, mercy! If you dated a centerfold, that's pretty impressive. I'll tell you that. Giles Band frontman Peter Wolf, 78 years old today.
Think he's going to be dating a centerfold anytime soon?
Yeah, mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there and tuned in. I know I don't like to age, but it's better than the alternative.
That's right.
That's all that is. And so happy birthday to all those folks who have birthdays here on the 7th day of March. Pro Call Harem's Matthew Fisher is 78 also. So, nights in white satin, nights in white diapers. No.
You talking about Joe? Oh, sorry, Joe Biden.
No. Now for our State of the Union address. Oh, I'm sorry.
So how many drugs are being filtered into the veins right now here at 8:46 local time here in Meridian?
None, because he's still asleep because they want him to have plenty of rest today.
They're going to let him sleep into lunch
He's going to
today?
sleep in today. He's got a big job tonight.
Excuse me, Mr. President. Mr. President! Joe! What?
There you go. Mornings in Meridian, glad you're out there. We got a caller on the line, but we do have to talk about Southern Business Supply. So caller, hold on real quick. We're going to tell them about our good friend down there at Southern Business Supply, Billy Adam Calvert and his crew.
Love Billy Adam Calvert. Appreciate what he's doing for us over in Jackson as well. A good representative, and also represents a fantastic family business, that being Southern Business Supply down in Marion. And right across the Wayman Newell Bridge, it's so smooth. It's such a smooth bridge. It's fantastic, Roger. It's a fantastic bridge here in Lauderdale County. And, of course, they've been serving the folks there for over 40 years, and friendly service and 5-gallon water coolers, break room supplies, and you can even order online at southernbusinesssupply.com, rather. And they have an in-house decorator on staff as well, and they got the office furniture, the home office furniture, desk chairs, filing cabinets, and they even offer next-day delivery on most of their office items and those janitorial supply items as well. So furniture delivery and setup is also available. Find out about it. SouthernBusinessSupply.com, or swing by and see them at 5685 Dale Drive, just across the new bridge there. And they're open right now until 5 o'clock today. And you can also call them ahead of time, 601-485-2447. And what do we always say? Say no to the big box stores. Buy local, because the money stays right here with Billy Adam Calvert and his family business there at Southern Business Supply.
All right, to the phones we go. Thank you for holding, caller. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian.
Good morning, y'all. How you doing this morning?
Hello, sir.
Welcome. Glad you're here.
I want to know what day Chili Dog Day is.
At Meridian Airport, every day is
Every day is Chili
Day.
Dog Day.
Every day?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I just want to comment that I had to go to Jackson yesterday and back. And the older you get, that's more than a hop, skip, and a jump, buddy.
It really
It's a
is.
100-mile round trip.
Yeah.
You know, so I think twice about, like you said, whatever it is within reason extra. I think I would be here in Meridian at the airport here instead of driving all the way to. That's just like, man, am I ever going to get there? I'm doing 75, and they're passing me like I was on fire. You know.
You know, if I were retired and I didn't have anything to do, I'd still pay extra.
There we go. I'm about to say, what are you talking about?
I'd still pay extra to stay in Meridian instead of going all the way over there. That's right.
And then I got into a 18-wheeler fest about 10 miles out of Meridian. I never did see what the problem was, but it slowed to a crawl, and I wonder how long this is going to take.
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard about that yesterday, because we played, I say we, the school I call for, Meridian Community College, we played Hines yesterday, and we were wondering where are they at, and they finally showed up, and they said that they got caught up in that mess yesterday, too. So
I never did see the problem.
yeah.
But
Well.
Anyway, yeah,
But yeah, you're thinking about
chili
traffic.
dogs every day, every day.
Well,
Is there a
that's
limit to
that's
chili
at
dogs?
that's at the private aviation terminal, not the main terminal.
excuse me.
Yeah. But hey, but you know what? You know, I'm kind of in there. You know a guy, so I can help you out there a little bit. But I'll tell you this right now: they do not have bass.
Oh, No bass.
No bass.
I
That's
guess
right.
I'll leave my cup here at the house then.
That's right.
Well, don't forget to
No
watch.
pureed bass, dude.
I was going to tell you.
Amen.
I was going to tell you. Don't forget to watch the State of the Union tonight.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. We need to get a pool going, y'all. I'm going to say there's going to be a minimum of 5 gaps.
5.
All right, we got 5. Anybody want to go over and under on that?
Over's the safe bet.
It ought to be worth watching for sure. That'd probably be better than anything SNL's got.
Well, you know what's going to be interesting tonight? I always love to see the Republican response to the address, and I want folks to pay attention to this tonight because it's a rising name in the party, and that is Katie Britt. She is delivering the Republican response tonight. Of course, she's the 42-year-old congressional Alabama representative, and she's going to be delivering the response tonight. And she's kind of a rising name in the party, and I wouldn't rule her out as being on that short list as a possible VP nominee for Trump.
Well, that's too bad they don't get that firebrand from Georgia that Has is in love with.
No, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, I bet that'd be an interesting rebuttal.
Did y'all happen to see the college junior that won the GOP primary for North Carolina House seat?
21 years old.
And beating a 20-year incumbent.
20-year incumbent. A 21-year-old being a 20-year incumbent. I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's absolutely incredible. That gives me hope for the future.
Yeah.
We sure need some hope, but I tell you.
We need something.
But anyway, well, I'm listening in. And,
Thank you for doing that,
yeah,
by the
that'll
way.
be interesting. What time does wake up call tonight for him?
Well, it's 8:51 right now, so I figured they'll wake him up here in about 9 hours, maybe, and then they'll pump him full of drugs.
We've got dress, makeup,
Red Bull included, some
steroid shot.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They got a double.
Wouldn't that be funny if that was actually on the agenda for today? Is how to prepare Joe Biden for tonight?
Which
The double first time he screws up.
we give him prednisone tonight? No, give him all the zones.
well, here's my question about it: is it just me, or is this a very late date for a State of the Union address?
Late date.
I mean, March the 7th. Yeah, usually it's in January. Yeah.
Well, they conveniently waited till after Super Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's doing the best he can.
Listen here, you
Dog-faced
pony soldier, whatever.
I'll do push-ups behind the White House.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes out behind the barn. I'll take care of Donald Trump. I'll tell you right now.
Oh yeah, and then he wakes up.
All right. Thank you for calling.
It was just a dream. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to keep my bass down just to not think about him.
I hear you. Don't bring that back up. That's for sure.
He was Technicolor yawn. All right, well I'm listening. Y'all have a good one and enjoy the beautiful day it is today.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Hey, want to thank our folks down at Battery One Source for making it easy for me.
Battery.
If I need a battery, I just know where to go. I go to Battery One Source.
Down there on North Frontage Road, 693-1500. And, of course, it's all about batteries and golf cart service and repair as well. And if you need a watch battery, something for your remote, laptop, computer, they've got it down there. And, of course, they also have battery tenders, those cables, and they'll test your battery free of charge because most times you might think, oh, gosh, I need a new battery. It may just be a simple fix where you don't need that new battery, and that might be what you just need a new cable or just clean a little bit of that corrosion off of there. Cell phone broken? I said, and get you squared away down there at Battery One Source. He's the best cell phone repair guy out there, and once you get that cell phone fixed, be sure to snag a case there as well because they got some good cell phone cases, other accessories, flashlights, and cables and whatnot. They are open right now till 4:30 this afternoon. They're at 2618 North Frontage Road in Meridian. John Dufour and the staff and Toby Bates always have to steal this line from him. He's so nice they named him twice. Battery One Source. Come by and see him. John.
We're glad you're out there. And just think, Rob, I'm thinking of Wyatt Gable. He's the Republican nominee in North Carolina, the 21-year-old.
The 21-year-old.
College junior.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that. Think about it. He's 21. He could, when he's 30, he could, if he gets the House, let's say, he could become the senator when at age 30. And then maybe when he's 65, he could become president. He could literally outdo Joe Biden in politics if he worked at it.
Works at it, you never know.
He could be in politics 70 years.
Dreams do come true.
Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Good.
Marvelous.
Let me give y'all I hate Jimmy Slay heard about the free chili dogs. That deal's probably fixing to go to pot. But, see, let me give y'all a report. Just got back from Texas having our annual Wounded Warriors bass fishing tournament. This was we had over 35 vets who had been injured
Oh, wow.
or hurt in Iraq and Afghanistan. My partner was a gentleman named Billy Dobbs, lives in Columbus, Mississippi. 2 Bronze Stars, 2 Purple Hearts.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Shot, injured 4 different occasions, and
Oh, my
still
goodness.
did not want to. They had to make him quit.
Oh,
get out
mercy.
from over there.
Oh, mercy.
He was just in
So I
New
wonder-
York City not long,
Yeah.
receiving national recognition for his valor and amazing. He's a ranger. He was a ranger.
Yeah.
An amazing man. Had a big time, and my partner from 4 years ago killed himself last month.
Mm.
Oh, my
They
goodness.
are still,
Yeah.
we are still losing 22 a day.
Wow.
So the events like this makes a difference to the guys. The first one I fished in, my partner kept going to his phone and answering the phone. I said, "Look, man," I said, "if you need to go in, we can quit fishing and go in." He said, "No, sir." He said, and he said, "I'm on suicide watch," but I told him they didn't have to worry about me this weekend. So that's what that kind of stuff means to those guys. So it was just an amazing time, guys, and just want to give y'all an update on that. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate
right.
that. That's great.
You know, we have a lot of fun with Chuck when he calls in, and
That's good
We
stuff.
joke a lot, but that's one good he always likes to report on, and it is a good thing where he goes to these wounded warriors and takes them out on these sporting events.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
good on you there, Chuck.
Good stuff. I love it too. And I tell you what, support these organizations because we really have got to do a much better job of taking care of our veterans. I know we got the border issue right now, and I know that's really on top of a lot of our minds, but we got to do a lot better job of taking care of those folks. And I'm glad to hear these events continue on. You know, we always see Tunnel to Towers, Wounded Warrior. There's a lot of great organizations you can get plugged into, and that's good stuff right there. Love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, mornings in Meridian. We got time for another call?
Yeah,
you
let's
got a
do it.
minute.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes here.
All right, say good morning to this caller.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Hey, good.
Fine, thank you.
Just want to tell you, Roger.
But
He wanted to tell me, but he
yeah,
cut
the
out.
thing is call cut out there. You still there?
Clean up on the side.
All right, now what you're going to have to do is get on top of that hill and then hold it there a minute, and then let me know what you had to
And
say.
then if
'cause
you, and then if
cut
you got to
out.
climb that pine tree and hang on to that branch, that'll be helpful too.
And help get a little get a little aluminum foil there and wrap around your phone.
Can you hear me now?
I
We
got you.
now, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to Jackson yesterday afternoon. It looked like the highway department was doing some cleanup on the side of the road. Is what was causing the delay. They had one of the lanes blocked, and
Yeah.
it was probably backed up. I would say at least 5 miles when I went.
Oof.
Right after
Oh, so that's
Rotary. So
from garbage pickup. Okay, I got you. That's what that was about.
Yeah.
You know, I got a got a listener here that said, "Why is MDOT paying employees to pick up garbage on Highway 19 North when we have a jail full of people that should be doing it?"
That's a heck of a question.
That's a great idea. I don't know why. Y'all talking about the State of Union tonight?
Oh,
yeah.
With all the excrement that he's going to be throwing, I say the whole thing's going to be a gaff.
Oh, just one big gaff. There you go.
I think I'll just
one big gaff.
I think I'll just watch The American President tonight. How about that?
Oh, there you
Michael
go.
Douglas. I think
I'll
just
tell you
watch
what.
that.
You want America, you gotta want it bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, I mean, you could watch something similar and watch Pinocchio.
Hey, that's a good one.
Oh, there you go.
Dumbo.
Hey, thanks for the time. Thanks for the call. We're out of time, but be safe out there.
Guys, have a great day.
All right.
All right, mornings in Meridian tomorrow. We're going to have
Colonel Burton's going to be on.
Colonel Burton.
Of course, running against Roger Wicker, and we'll have some music in the studio tomorrow.
That's right. Trey Shull will join us tomorrow. And for that, I'll have a good day, and please, buy local.